Proud Filipino-American mixed martial artist Brandon Vera will move to ONE FC come December 5th. And to tell us more about his journey in the sport, we are joined this morning by the very intimidating Brandon Vera himself. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning. Why am I intimidating?
I feel so pint-sized next to you. Your hand's bigger than my whole head.
That's just a size difference.
Okay, well, welcome to Daybreak. Thanks for stopping by this morning.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Tell me how a boy from Virginia gets to where you are right now.
You know, wrestling.
Wrestling, okay.
In middle school, I guess I've always taken to individual sports as opposed to team sports.
Was this sanctioned wrestling or like back at the school gym wrestling where I'll see you at 3 o'clock kind of wrestling?
No, it was wrestling through school, public education system. In Virginia, we had wrestling programs, and I wrestled from middle school, high school, college, to the Air Force trying to make the Olympic squad.
Was it something difficult for your mother or your parents to embrace? Because I'm a mom and I have a boy, and I think he might get into this when he grows up, but I can imagine it must have been something to discuss around the dinner table.
It wasn't really too much of a discussion, you know, like when I decided I wanted to do it, I moved forward with it. My parents did ask, like, are you crazy? Why would you want to do that? Why don't you just want to go to school? And, you know,
You're too cool for school, was that it?
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened.
That's what happened, okay. And then you were also in the U.S. Air Force, so was that a direction that you saw yourself taking deliberately, or was it something, I'll try it?
Being in the military?
Yeah.
You know, when I was on full scholarship to Old Dominion University, you know, parents' dream come true, most athletes' dream come true. But when I got to college, I realized it wasn't for me. Like I didn't like studying. I'm not that Asian kid.
You're not the Asian kid?
I was not that Asian kid. Not that one. No.
Wait a minute. Let's talk about that Asian side of you. So magaling ka mag-Tagalog.
Oh, ako din.
Okay.
Ikaw din, di ba?
Oh naman. But like you scared me. I walk in here and then you were like, what did you say to me? You spoke to me in Tagalog. That really threw me off because I guess I don't really see much of a Filipino resemblance.
Yeah.
I would think you're a mix of a lot of other things. Pero ang galing ah. So you put everyone else to shame who doesn't speak the language.
You know, I think it is a shame, but you know, a lot of coming from the States growing up during the era that I did, I understand why a lot of parents didn't teach their kids. When you first came to the States, I would say first generation. They were dealing with racism problems, having the accent, not speaking another language.
Everybody wanted to speak. Sounding like a fob.
Exactly.
Could you do that accent though?
Oh, Paul, be careful.
You might fall in the swimming pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you didn't have that problem growing up,
no,
did you?
And I just didn't care. I grew up in the South, so I did have to deal with racism, but I didn't worry about that kind of stuff. I never have. I never ever worried about what anybody thought about me or however anybody perceived me. I just never ever worried. I'm fighting now.
Marami ka bang naging barkada na Tagalog speaking when you were growing up?
Ang dami. Sa Virginia, ang dami Filipino. It's the largest base in the world.
Sorry, this is just really amusing to me. Keep talking. Go on. Proceed.
Dami ding Filipino dun sa Virginia. Sa San Diego din.
We're everywhere kasi, di ba?
Oo. Sa buong mundo.
Laganap talaga tayo. Well, I'm sure you never got beat up because of that. Like, did you and your friends used to talk in Tagalog and your other, I guess, white or American friends would be like, what are you talking about?
No, they all, kasi ang dami Filipinos sa Virginia, they already knew what Filipinos were. They understood what Tagalog was. They all love pancit. They all love pandesal.
Oh, you said it there. It's not pancit. It's pancit.
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 Yeah, that's how they say it stateside. But you know,
it's pancit.
We talking about getting beat up. I did get beat up when I was a little kid a lot, and it wasn't because I was looking for fights. Not all the time.
Okay, I'm like, right.
Most of the time, I was standing up for somebody who was getting bullied.
Why did you become a lawyer? The fighting lawyer. I'm kidding. Okay.
Mahirap talaga magiging abogado eh. That's too long in school. I didn't want to be in school that long.
You're more the athletic kind, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about your move to ONE FC. This is exciting for all of your fans, people who have been following you all this time.
Yes.
Tell us about that. You must be excited.
You know, when the opportunity arose for ONE FC, it was almost like, come on, am I gonna wake up tomorrow and this isn't really happening?
Punch me.
Yeah, you know, because the first question out of Mr. Hume's mouth when he called me was like, hey, would you like to fight in Manila? And I was like, come on, really?
Yeah, right.
I've been wanting to fight in the Philippines since I very first got into the sport of MMA. You know, that was always a lifelong goal and dream. The Filipino fans love fights. Filipinos love fighting. It's just
we get into a lot it. You
know,
whether we win them or not. Yeah, I mean
we're fighting.
We have a fighting spirit. You can't
dugo.
deny that.
Nasa dugo talaga.
Diba?
So it's part of the gig. I guess it's how I grew up. It's just who I am. And when he asked me, I was all in. almost
Right.
immediately, you know? And even now, finally we're doing the media towards, I think it's all finally starting to settle in that, yeah, December 5th, come high water, we're going to
Am I
be
sensing
fighting.
some nerves here?
Yeah, you know,
How
of course.
can a guy you're 6'2", right?
6'3".
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
6'2" on a bad day. I'm 5'1" on a good day. How does a guy like you still have nerves? I mean, you've won so many titles, you've won so many fights, but it's amazing to hear that someone like you still gets nerves.
Well, you know, it's part of the sport, and part of the sport that all of the fighters, we talk to each other. If you ever wake up one day you're not nervous anymore, you shouldn't be fighting anymore.
You're in trouble.
You shouldn't fight anymore, you know? It means you're not nervous about anything. But fighting home here in the Philippines, fighting in front of my Filipino family that's never been able to come outside
Right.
of the Philippines to see me fight live, it's a big deal, you know? And that's something that I am mentally preparing for this fight, because I know the crowd's going to be loud. I know it's going to be live. And I know it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
But you know, dealing with that pressure, I've been doing that my whole life. And really, the only person I'm really worried about come that evening when they announce my name is the guy inside the ring trying to beat me up as well, you know?
Very nicely said. I like that.
That's all that really matters at that moment. Until I step outside of that cage, nothing else really matters. Not the
Right.
fans, not fame, not money, not the girls, not anything. Just
Not
him.
the girls, for the guys out
Not
there
yet.
who are fighting, not yet.
Not yet,
okay.
not yet. After the fight.
After the fight. You gotta win first, guys.
Exactly.
All right, well, what is, you would say, your guiding principle through your whole entire journey from the first time you set foot in a cage and said, wow, I'm fighting pro, to now where you are?
You know, my guiding principle, my guiding light throughout my whole career, throughout my whole life has been a saying that my father just kept repeating, and he still repeats to this day, you know. The good times and the bad times. You know, my family went through rough periods. My family's had good times, but my dad would always say, ganito talagang buhay ng Pilipino. Ganito talagang buhay ng Pinoy. And he said, there's no way you can get around it. It's just how it is. And growing up, I used to always hear him say that, and I never understood what he meant until I saw them go through the hard times.
Right.
And you know, even in the hard times, my parents, my mom and dad, they never complained. Ever.
Wow, that's
ever,
fantastic.
ever. They never took it out on the kids. They never complained. Ganito talagang buhay ng Pilipino. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy. You just have to roll with the punches.
True resiliency.
And that works perfectly inside of the cage as well.
Well, that's very inspiring. And lastly, to our viewers who are up very early but are aspiring fighters, what would you have to say to them?
You know, I would say to all the aspiring fighters, if you're gonna get into the sport of MMA, it's gonna suck. Like, there's just no two ways about it. You're gonna be broke. People are gonna have to help you do laundry. You're gonna meet one crazy chick who you're gonna
At
fall.
least.
At least one crazy chick who's really fine that could either make or break your career.
Oh boy.
Surround yourself with good people. Find one person that you can trust and turn to. And if you ever think about quitting, it's okay. But the day you quit, hang it up, put the gloves away, and go find something else to do. Because this isn't a sport for people who quit.
You do not mince your words, and that is really speaking from experience right there. That's fantastic. And December 5th is when you hit the cage again?
I hit the cage with 1FC, in
Mall of
MOA
Asia.
Arena. Super excited. I'm fighting Igor Sabora. They haven't announced the full card yet, but they're going to end the year with a bang. So make sure you come out. Yeah, I'm going to hurt somebody that evening.
Yeah, it better not be you, though. We've got all the information up on the screen. For tickets, you can call that number, and they can follow you on your social media. You've got
On
a
all my
Facebook
social
fan
media.
page. Do you tweet at all? Are you on Instagram? Are you an Instagrammer?
I'm on Instagram a lot. I'm on Facebook a lot. Twitter, not so much. So hit me up on both of those.
Buddha Bear. Oh, that's cute. It makes you sound harmless.
I am.
Sure.
Unless
right.
I'm contracted.
Said the 6'3" guy. Unless you're contracted. Well, it's been such a fun chat with you this morning. You really, stirred things up for us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for dropping by. You're so proper. Next time, wear shoes.
Really?
Like,
No.
I wore heels today because we had a guest, and he comes in flip-flops. Yan ang
No.
Filipino side mo.
Yeah, I won't wear shoes. Even when I go to the
chinelas
club.
everywhere.
Even Studio 54 in Las Vegas.
Are you serious?
After party,
It's
chinelas.
You never got thrown out of the club?
No.
I guess who would throw you out,
Yeah.
right? The bouncer would have to be 6'8". Well, thank you so much, Brandon. It's been great chatting
Thank you for
with you
having
this
me.
morning. And there you have it. We've just spoken with Filipino-American mixed martial artist Brandon Vera. Cheer for him, all right?